All right, my people, welcome back to the SBP. We're here in full effect as we are most Sundays around 11, 11:15, 11:30. Whenever we get on, we appreciate y'all stopping through. As always, I'm your boy Prime Source. What is good?
What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling a little tired, like I really did something this weekend, which I really haven't. But I mean, I'm a
Mm,
little tired. But other than that, I'm good, man. I can't complain.
word, word. That's what's up.
What about you?
I'm tired. I am tired. Well, actually, I don't feel tired, but I should be tired because it has been a whirlwind kind of weekend for real.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this week, I don't know. House stuff happens. I guess it happens at the same time as other house stuff.
Right.
Go in the kitchen a couple days ago, cut the light on. Ain't no light. Why the light ain't on? Why the light ain't on? First thought would be the bulb was out. That's a LED jump. It's supposed to last like 20 years or whatever. I'm like, bro, it can't be the light. So there's that. Same day or the day after.
Right.
We're like, man, it's a little warm downstairs. Why is it so hot? All right. Eventually, I go check the attic, check the AC, uh, the unit. Why has the tube for downstairs air disconnected partially from the the unit?
What?
So I'm standing beside it and I feel all this cold air blowing on me in the attic. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely something wrong. I feel all the air that's supposed to be going downstairs on me.
What?
First of all, let me be clear. I am not handy at all. I am not handy. Not at all. But for some reason, it clicked in my brain to hit up a couple people.
Right.
I hit up our resident Cuzzo up in this joint, my actual Cuzzo, but Cuzzo, because I ain't gonna say what he does, but
Yeah.
he be knowing. Plus he from the country, so he be fixing stuff. Been fixing stuff since he was small, I'm sure. I hit him up, give me some advice on the AC unit. I ain't even talked about the light actually. So that must have happened first and then the light.
Got you.
So I send him pictures of the joint. He like, yeah, you're gonna have to get that joint. Like he's like the tape probably got too hot or too cold. So you're
Ooh.
gonna have to remove the tape, remove the old tape, get some new tape from Lowe's. Not even tape. It's like aluminum foil, but harder.
Right.
But it's called tape. Um, so he tells me that I'm like, all right, man, this gonna be a project. Back to the light. I'm like, all right, well, it's either the light switch or it's the actual LED light. I'm
Got
like, it can't be the LED light. But this is a long story. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep going. Friday morning, I'm like, I'm gonna go to Lowe's, get a new light. I go to Lowe's, I'm gonna get a new light, and I'm gonna get the tape that Cuzzo said. I go to Lowe's, I'm standing in front of the lights. The light is $94. No, $84. $84, by the way. Just for the record. I don't want to spend $84 on a light.
you. Understandably.
Then it clicks in my brain. Because you might know people that do these things, but I don't usually think about, like, no, I don't even know. How do I not know an electrician? Out of all the people that I know, how do I not know one electrician? Then it clicks in my brain at the moment that I'm standing in front of the light. I was
Right.
like, I was like, Jermo is an electrician. Shout out to my man Jeremy Robinson. He is an electrician. I was like, I hate to hit somebody. Not that I haven't talked to him, you know, here and there or on Facebook, but I hate to hit somebody out the blue with issues, and it's their field.
I feel you.
So I'm like, yo, I message him. I'm like, how much for a quick consultation? And he's like, man, ain't no charge for you. So I call him. I tell him. He like, you should try the light switch first. I was thinking try the light first because that's probably the easier thing. But he's like, you should try the light switch first. He tells me what to get. And I had a light switch that was flickering upstairs as well.
Right.
So he tells me what to get for that. He tells me what to get for the 2 switches downstairs. I get those. I'm like, all right. I grab the tape. I leave the light. Come back home Friday. I'm working on it because he told me what to do, and I'm working on it. Hit him up while I'm working on it. Gives me some more things so I don't die. Basically, he don't want me to die trying to fix a light switch. So I get the upstairs joint fixed. I did that first because I knew it was one. I was like, let me do this joint first. Fixed it. It came on. I was proud of myself. I was like, yo, congratulations to me. I fixed something. Eventually go downstairs because we got to go to the grocery store because people was coming over yesterday, which was a whole day thing. That was all day. That's the tired part. In the kitchen, I'm like, dog, I don't know. Because the light switch, they almost look alike. The new one and the old one, but not exactly. So I'm like, snap. I don't know where this other cord goes. I don't know where this other connection goes. I call him. He like FaceTime me. I FaceTime him. He on the phone with me like a half hour. He's laughing because he like, dog, if you were my assistant, you would be fired. I was like, I know that you're not telling me anything I don't know. I know this is true. But eventually get the joint, go to the other one, same thing, struggling, but get the joint. They both seem, and he said FaceTime him because I sent him a picture because he was like, no, Mike, something wrong. Like I said, they look different. So I had one of the cords going to the wrong place.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, but because the box was off and, when you try to cut it back on, it won't cut on. It goes back to the middle. So that happened. He, tells me what to change. I do that. Cut the power back on. Click. Not a light in the house. Not a light. Not in the house. I'm sorry. In the kitchen. Lights didn't come back on. He like, bro, hold on. What? Because nothing. I let him go. He like, yo, I will come over there and fix the light for you tomorrow if it's still an issue. I'm like, I don't want that to happen. I made it this far. I got to see this thing through. I started messing with the light, the actual light, the LED light, and eventually go buy that light that Friday night. Saturday, come back in, messing with it, still not working. Looking at changing it, but I know people getting ready to come over, so I don't want to start messing with stuff and have stuff all over the place and all that. Because I was on the grill for 3+ hours in the heat. Ooh. Let me throw that in there. Saturday morning. So after all that, like right before the people come, I start messing with the light. I'm like, I shouldn't do it right now. In the kitchen, in the dark, people are in the house. My wife come down. She hit the switch and the lights come on.
What?
I'm like, I was like, hold on, bro. I know. Why? How the light? She like, what'd you do? I'm like, I ain't do nothing. I mean, I took the joint off, put it back on there. I didn't do anything. So the only thing I could think is maybe I tried the one switch and didn't try the other one. And maybe the other one is the main one. I don't know. Eventually, Everything is fixed. So even though it took a lot of help, I fixed 3 things in one weekend, in one 36-hour span. So, I should be celebrated.
Yeah, I think you ain't the only person, man. We had some air issues too, and called me at work and said that the joint ain't kicking like it's supposed to. I'm like, oh, bad enough. I'm out the whole weekend. and then this happened, and I know what's gonna happen. Anybody can be able to get out here till Monday. You got to be kidding me, blah blah blah. But we were fortunate enough. Maintenance guy came by and took a look, started giving us some just all type of talk. We already know it was just basically he was just trying to make it sound good.
Right.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna see if we can get you this and whatever. Until we can get somebody back over here on Monday. Fortunately, unlike last summer, the joint hasn't gone out. It just wasn't kicking out the way it's supposed to.
Right.
So we didn't have to do crazy stuff, turn it on, went down the whole 9 yards. But so it feels okay. It feels okay. It's felt okay the last couple of days. It hasn't gone in when we had no air, So we're good. We're good. But I was all cautious. I bought extra bags of ice, all this stuff in case we ain't here eating big, 7-Eleven cups full of ice, what I'm saying, to keep cool. You know what I'm saying? And, we got a billion of 7-Eleven cups from over the years,
right?
In the joint. Though we got joints from movies that came out 12 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You said 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But started filling those joints up. But luckily, we haven't resorted to that. So it's so we've got it lower. So they better come out here tomorrow, so then don't conk out. But we've been lucky. It's been comfortable. So I can feel the air. So I'm like, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
After I finished messing with the light in the kitchen, and I decided not to do it, not to try to do any further. I was like, man, it's hot. I should go up here and try to do it. I'm like, this joint is a project. I called my in-laws. I'm like, can y'all bring a fan over this joint? We had the one small fan. Yeah. They brought 2 bigger fans. So it made it cooler. But before they got there, I actually went in the attic. I just did part of it. I ripped it down, the side, put some new tape on that joint. I was like, I don't feel no air blowing right here. Is it fixed? Eventually it got cool. It's normal temperature in here now. So ooh. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. So that's Cuzzo. Cuzzo said get that joint. So shout out to Cuzzo for hooking me up, because it could have been bad business of paying somebody a crazy amount without knowing that could fix it possibly.
Luckily, you got to come out of pocket like that, and hopefully you don't have to, man.
Amen.
Yeah, it's nice and cool, and then I'm glad on my end too. Whoa, I ain't had to suffer up in here. Looking forward to these back-to-back days off. I ain't had to suffer. So
right.
Yeah, we good money. We good money up in here, man. So thank you. But I'm still gonna be on the phone with them people first thing in the morning. Like, look, y'all see y'all coming to check something though?
Yeah.
I know I ain't the only one. Make sure y'all coming back out here to check something, all right? So I don't need them going all the way out.
Exactly. I ain't trying to go that route.
Send the proper people out here to get this air fixed, man.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So, but other than that, man, looking over what we got on the agenda today, man, we got some NBA, we got some WNBA, and of course, we got some hip hop we're gonna talk about. We haven't talked much NBA at all outside of the past, week or two, celebrating, my New York Knicks, but we didn't even talk much about the Giannis thing, and that's something that'd be a deeper conversation later when I see how that gets constructed over there, because I think there's still some work to do in Miami. But I felt like we need to at least bring the Jaylen Brown thing to the table, because there's been a lot, man. There's been a lot going on in the NBA. Just Jaylen Brown, we got some, some quick Kawhi news too. But this Jaylen Brown thing to me is crazy, because we already know that Jaylen Brown was already dangled out there in the talks for trying to get Giannis. First of all, there was the Giannis talks. Then there was a couple of other players. They were trying to make a move where Boston was trying to get players. And but Jaylen Brown, a guy who was a pivotal part of them winning the championship with Jason Tatum, a guy that held it down when everybody thought that they would drop majorly. I definitely thought they would drop majorly after the Jaylen Tatum injury. And what does he do? He goes out and help propel them to only the second best record in the East this past year. They won 56 games, I believe. And my biggest thought about this dog was when the Giannis thing fell through. What do you say to Jaylen Brown now? Like, what's this conversation? You done dangled him out there. Is he a guy that understands? Okay. Or is a guy who don't understand? And this thing has gotten real crazy because, after all that happened, they flipped around and traded him to, of all teams, Philly, a rival. Wow. So this tells you there's some deep stuff going on, man, like some deep stuff going on in Boston, man. What was your overall thoughts about how this whole thing, formulated and went down?
I don't know who said it, but somebody said they need to drug test Brad Stevens. That's what I heard. That's crazy, bro. I mean, I'm sure the situation was probably beyond repair at this point. So, and I had no thoughts of Jaylen Brown being I'll come back. It's all good. I know it's nah. You like y'all played with me too many times around this joint, and let me let y'all see what life without me look like. So I'm sure he was done trying to rectify things with them people at this point.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, man. Like, I mean, I knew at some point, and I'm no genius. Most NBA people knew that once he got that contract, right? He got that contract because both him and Tatum over $300 million when, once you get down and calculate the money with the extensions and everything, like, this is going to be funny in a few years to see how this is going to pan out because that's a lot of money. And I guess your hope would be you could wrangle in at least one more championship out of this deal before you start having to making hard decisions. Right. That didn't work out. That didn't happen in Boston. And then it comes to this, and you fall flat on your face. You fall flat on your face in the deal trying to get Giannis, right? And then what happens is you make a move, you trade this guy to a rival, and you end up with Paul George. And that's your consolation. You end up with Paul George, who might just be the MVP of the league, to be honest with you, if you look at his career, because he's been traded for some folks, man. Like, you go back, like my man Rook was in our group chat talking about how in the world, do people keep taking Paul George and he keeps getting traded. And this dude, man, he's been included in trade deals that ended up with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Sabonis, the Victor Oladipo when Victor was balling, Gallinari, you know what I'm saying? Now Jaylen Brown. And in the midst of all that, if you calculate everything, he's also been traded, for like 7 first-round picks.
It's crazy.
It's just like beyond crazy, man. But yeah, man, it's just wild. It's just wild to come at this. Now, what I am interested in, they said there's supposedly there's supposed to be a press conference early this coming week that Brad Stevens and the rest of the brass is supposed to be speaking. Now, that's just what I saw. I don't know, how true it is or if it's going to happen, but I saw that on a couple of websites. So if this does go down, it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes down and what Brad Stevens actually has to say.
Yeah, because what can there be to say? We think Paul George can return to 6 years ago form and be Jaylen Brown. I don't know what we don't think Jaylen Brown's value was. What can you possibly say? What can you possibly say about the guy that carried the team when the supposed guy was not around and in the finals? What can you say? I don't know, man. But and I don't even know if Jaylen Brown is all the way likable. I'm not sure if he's all the way likable, but I think he deserved better. I think he deserved better, or more respect, I say.
Right. It's wild, man. It's wild. Shout out to the people, man, that's watching us. I guess a lot of y'all might be over on X or on YouTube. Says they're having an issue streaming to Facebook right now. They said it could actually be something with Facebook itself. So shout out to all y'all and all of y'all that's catching us in and out. The link has also been shared on Facebook. So come on over to YouTube, over on X, man, on my platform. Come on through. We still at it, man. We're just getting started. But yeah, this is wild. Now I take a look at this on the flip though. If I look at this on the flip side for the Sixers, pretty good deal. On paper, that lineup looks crazy. Embiid, of course, if you're going to get a healthy Embiid throughout the playoffs. You know what Max is about. Max is a heck of a player. VJ Edgecombe is a straight killer. Like, they got something when they got him young. The young. And you're adding Brown to that mix. So, when you're talking about a team all goes right, that should definitely be right back in the playoff mix. That's going to be something to deal with, bro, if all them pieces together.
Brian, you said pretty good. You just saying pretty good. You ain't really mean like, it's pretty good. That joint great, right? That joint is crazy.
It would seem that way, that it should be great, right? It should be great just based on where it looks on paper, yeah.
I think it's great because even if Embiid is hurt, you still got 1-2. You still got 1, 2, and 3, actually.
Yeah.
Without which points to where a problem could arise, because it's going to be, all right, well, if Embiid is 1, who's 2 for sure? Who's falling back? Because Maxey has been 3 before.
Right.
So, and he proved that he ain't really a 3. He ain't really a third option. You got to be second or first option a lot of times. But Jaylen Brown is Jaylen Brown. Like, what, and is Edgecombe mature enough to get less shots or less opportunities possibly, and still have the same effect? I can see where it could be some questions there. Chances are Embiid gonna get hurt, and none of that's gonna matter. It's just gonna be 1, 2, trying to figure out 1, 2, and that's a little easier, I guess.
True.
Or at least sounds better than 2, 3.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, this is gonna be fire, and I think, first of all, they did this to better their team. Somebody asked me the other day, do I think this move was made? Because of what the Knicks did. Like, are there going to be teams that are going to make moves based on the fact of what just happened to them, along the way, them not making or getting beaten by New York? I don't know if that was the motive. You're getting a player like Brown. I mean, you're getting a bona fide star like Jaylen Brown. So how could you not add him, especially for what you only had to give up? But I do think that's in the back of their minds. I mean, you got to think about this. These people came in here, just took our hearts. I mean, they went, they swept us. We need some more firepower. You know what I'm saying? We need more firepower. We gave the Knicks issues in at least 3 of the games. And if we just had that extra spark, and then a guy like Brown, who not only can straight go for 25, 30, whatever in any given night, but a guy that's a decent defender too. Like, yeah, I think that it definitely helps. I think it definitely helps. And if we see any more moves being made across the NBA here, especially particularly in the East, even as we get into the season, I think we want to see some people try to counter some of the stuff that New York has going on. So I don't think this move was totally because of New York, but I do think that, hey, another sniper ain't gonna hurt, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, Philly got swept. Embiid was hurt, right?
Embiid played.
He was hurt, right?
He always hurt. So it's not breaking news. He's always hurt. But.
Indeed, he is always hurt. So yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah. Boston, though, man. I'm sitting there looking at Boston and like, what is the plan here? Like, you think you're just gonna, you're gonna shoot their way, to stay prominent? Like, I don't know. Like, I'd expecting Peyton Pritchard, who we know can shoot now. Don't get it twisted. But you expecting Peyton Pritchard, along with Paul George, the two of them, to be able to fill, the hole that is going to be left here? I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm really interested to see what Brad Stevens gonna have to say when if they come out with this press conference. We got to talk sooner or later.
Yeah, they got to do something else though. Something else got to happen. There got to be more to this.
Yeah. So I was seeing something the other day, and I don't know how the money would work, but it was on one of the basketball podcasts, the guys that stream a lot over on TikTok. And they were talking about, they were putting together some numbers and they were doing some stuff on the screen, and they were just talking about the possibility, what it would take for them to land possibly like a Devin Booker.
Now we talking.
Because supposedly one of the guys that's on the show is actually a Suns fan, and he said there have been some talk. This is like Wild the Leaf down there, that Booker may not finish next season with the Suns. Like there's already some talk of the way they're constructed. There could be some possibilities, and what would teams offer for him, and would Phoenix actually do it? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I like that for Boston. I like the way that sounds. That sounds real crazy, actually. That sounds real crazy. The East trying to go up, boy.
Yeah, you can't fall but so far, because the East is going to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, the East is going to be tough. I mean, you just see what Philly just did. You know what New York's going to do. People are really expecting, maybe more so than me, but I've been told, especially by Joel and I was talking to Joel and Diggs, they really believe that Indiana is going to be good again next year. Once Halliburton comes back.
Mm-hmm.
That remains to be seen. I think they lost some integral pieces to when they were really good, but I mean, I don't expect them to fall off the map either. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
you just go down the line. So where that leaves Boston is going to be the interesting part.
So. Yeah, maybe they're like, well, if we could do this with Jaylen Brown and no Tatum, what can we do with Tatum and no Jaylen Brown? And still have the additional Paul George. I don't know. Maybe they think they have enough to look good.
So if not, you're hoping to, what did Paul George average last year? Like maybe 17, I think. So you're looking for him. I mean, Paul can still give you some good defense. He's not going to give you the defense he gave you back in the day, but he's still not a bad defender. So he's going to give you some defense there. So you don't get any better. You're hoping that Paul George maybe raises the average another 5-6 points a game, and then you're getting you get Peyton Pritchard. He's obviously going to get even more time than he already gets, and maybe you can get him up to, I don't know, 12 to 15 maybe. I don't know. I don't even know how that would work. You got a key addition. You got Mitchell Robinson from New York for some defense. He's not going to give you a whole lot offensively except for some, he's going to get some putbacks and some alley-oops in there, but, he's going to give you some really good defense. But when we're just talking about scoring and being able to keep up, with the rest of the teams in just the East, it's going to be interesting. Like you go back last year, so what do we have? We had Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, Raptors, Hawks, Sixers, and Magic all in your top. Those were your top 8 teams last year. So maybe that's a lineup source that I don't know. Looking at this and where the teams currently are, maybe that's still a good enough team to be in the top 8 in Boston. Right. I mean, Hornets going through a transition. Heat added Giannis. There's somebody to watch. The Heat finished 10th last year, but then again in that mix, I think most people agree they need more than just, Giannis and Bam. They gotta fill that thing out. They gotta do something over there.
They're gonna make a splash.
Yeah. So then that just leaves. I look at the rest of them. I mean, the Bucks, Bulls, and Nets. So I don't know. Maybe Boston. Indiana finished at 14th. So we were just talking about Indiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people expect Indiana to move back into contention. But so maybe out of the two teams, maybe Indiana and maybe the Heat are the two teams that fell out of the top 8 that you have to watch. So where Boston falls into that mix, I don't think anybody going to have them in their top 4 teams. Even though we, shortchanged them last year. I don't know, maybe not the top 6, especially with Kawhi going back to the Raptors. The Raptors finished 5th last season. That's going to be interesting. And speaking of which, so what do you think about Kawhi? I don't know if you say going home, but going back to Toronto.
Right, going to his other home. He was only there for a hot second anyway.
Yeah, look, long enough to get him a ring.
That's all that matter, right? That's all that matter. Get one of them things. I just, I mean, Kawhi. I rock with Kawhi, but I'm not that excited about this move. I'm sure Toronto is. The city is probably like, yes, sir, bring him back. You know, he led us to our only title. I'm like, is this going to put them over the top? I don't know.
They were good enough to finish 5th last year. You know, definitely they played really well both on home and away, and winning records on both ends. And it's still a young and semi-young basketball team. Now, how that starting lineup shakes out is going to be interesting. And if they make any other moves on that squad, I mean, you still got Quickly and you got RJ Bird there. You got Scotty Barnes is interesting. Scotty Barnes has been nothing but fire.
Yeah.
Since he's gotten to the league, still a young guy. He's got about 5 years in, I guess, into the league now. Scotty Barnes is an interesting one because he's probably more excited than anybody because back when he was 17, when he was still young, high school, they asked him if he makes it to the NBA, who would be the one player that he would love to play with, he would want to play with on his team. He said it was Kawhi Leonard. Back when he was 17, he said that. So, here's a guy that's got, he's got years in the league now, and he gets to play with his guy. So that's got to be crazy.
Definitely.
So, and I think looking at the way that team is constructed now, I do think that with Kawhi coming there, definitely good enough to give somebody a problem in the playoffs. I'll say that. They're definitely good enough to give somebody. It's not a championship team, but you know how this thing goes, Source. Don't take but one series. Yeah, I definitely think your boy is good enough to propel them to. They'll make the playoffs, I believe, and again, they'll make the playoffs, and this could be a second-round team right here, depending on how the chips fall.
Word.
Kawhi is back. That's all I got, NBA, man. I will say I did think one thing I thought was an interesting move. I don't know if you saw. Did you see that? I'm drawing a blank now. What's your boy? Played for about 5 teams. 6, 17 in his career. Just with Detroit, Orlando, Detroit. I was drawing a blank this morning. Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris going to San Antonio. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it if I got to play them again, but I like the move overall as an NBA fan. Bringing a vet in who's been around a few teams, been around some winners, and you bringing in a guy like that with all those young guys.
Yeah.
And a guy who's not afraid to speak his mind, so I like that for San Antonio. Man. I think that's a plus for all those young guys over there.
Yeah, solid scorer, get his own bucket, can shoot the joint.
Yeah,
not mad at it. This game, the NBA is so weird. The game is so weird these days. So you never know what's going to work.
Somebody gonna get mad over there because some of that playing time gonna get cut. We're already hearing about some rumblings about that now with the Spurs.
Yeah.
Whose starting lineup is, who's not getting the minutes they think they should be getting. So that would be something to watch too. I don't know. I know you wouldn't want to break up that young squad, but keeping an eye on a move like this and some other things that may transpire. Do by the time we get to the midway point of the season next year, all of those young guys still there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know people would say, "Well, why would you do that?" And that team just made it to the finals. But I mean, NBA is funny, and there could be a bigger plan. So, I mean, somebody from one of those squads could actually maybe land you something that can help you this season or later on. Because at some point, all them guys going to start getting paid.
Yes, indeed. You might as well
You got a lot of them that's gonna have to
Control
get
it.
paid within the next, couple of years.
Yeah, it's all on how you want to approach it. You can control it early.
Yeah, you can't extend everybody
Wrap it
though.
up.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Let's talk some WNBA.
for sure.
So let's get to this WNBA thing, bro. And it's been quite a week, man. Not as many games overall, but still some quality basketball was played.
Always.
And definitely we start off first would be the Commissioner's Cup, which was this past Tuesday. We saw New York take out Las Vegas 93-85 in a really good basketball game. I thought, even though the Liberty won it, man, I loved the way the Aces competed in there without Asia Wilson. It looked ugly for a minute. New York came out that bad boy on fire. Aces weathered the storm and was right there in it. Definitely had a chance to win this thing. So it was a crazy good effort by the Aces, but ultimately the Liberty hoisted the trophy.
Yeah, it was a good game. Liberty took control early on, and they could have gotten out of control for real. It looked like it was going to get out of control. Then you think Asia's not there, so if somebody don't step up and do something, it's going to be a blowout. Then Jackie turned it on.
Yes, she did.
Jackie turned it on and went crazy. Um, Made it close, but Sabrina and Stewie were too much. Too much for the Aces. I actually thought Sabrina was going to be the MVP.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. I'm fine with Stewart being the MVP. It was strong, especially in the New York groups. People they were making a really big deal about that Sabrina should have gotten the MVP. And I saw it both ways. I thought so Sabrina had 28, Stewie had 25.
25 and 11?
25 and 11. Man, I can tell you, had there been 3 or 4 of those rebounds were necessary. I can
Right.
tell you down the stretch that 3 or 4 of those were very necessary. They were key in them being able to pull it out. And I love the fact that she was so efficient. Stewie was 9 of 16 from the floor, dog. Efficiency was crazy.
Mm.
So I didn't have a problem either way. I was surprised at the amount of people, though, that were just definitive that were saying that, that Sabrina should have gotten it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it was close. It could have gone either way, and it went to Stewie, so can't be mad at that. Well, I
Yeah.
guess you can, because like the people are.
Shout out to Astia. Again, she chipped in 18 in that one. Love that youngin right there. She man, like every game she's doing some, whether it's a shot and her passing ability. I don't think people realize until reason how good of a passer she is too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know Olivia Miles out here, Chelsea Gray and them out here serving up some crazy passes. She got a bag, man. Astia has a bag. I'm not saying she's on the level of those two, but bruh, she's nasty with those passes. Bro.
Yeah, and get to the bucket too, and finishing.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad. I'm loving seeing all the guards out here that we have in the league that are handling the ball and getting to the bucket, man.
Hoop.
Yeah, not just fine threes, man. We got a plethora of guards in the W right now that'll get to the bucket and attempt to get a basket, man. And I'm loving that. Um, so yeah, three leaders for the Liberty in double figures. When you flip over to the Aces, you mentioned the brilliant game that Jackie Young had. I know she wished she could have had that that one
That
shot.
blown layup.
That one hurt, man.
You know, it reminded me of last year when we saw the Aces in person and against the Mystics, and she missed that layup late in the game. And that joint, I was like, oh, that joint I know she thought about that joint. I know she thought about that.
Yeah, she was sick. You see her Asia walking her back to the back in the locker, had her arm around her like she was sick, bro. Yeah, 31 points. But the only other person in double figures, of course, was Kennedy Carter for the Aces. But nevertheless, they had nothing to hang their head about, man. They were really good, very competitive basketball game. And if a star is going to be out, at least that's what you want to see.
Right.
So.
Then the reporter talking to Chelsea as if they're supposed to just go out there and lose because Asia ain't out there. I'm like, what is wrong? Like, y'all never played a sport? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Be saying anything.
A reporter. I don't want to beat up on the reporters, but kind of deserve the reaction that they got.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out. And you know, not comparing the players, but New York also able. I was impressed because one, Sibley didn't play. Two, they struggled games prior to coming into the cup.
Bro.
You know, so they're so up and down. Like and I told you before, the biggest thing for me is defensively. They just sometimes they shut down defensively. You know, it's like they, you know, whether it's the guards getting taken, John Quill getting caught out of position, they backdooring people to death. You know, but you know, I was glad to see that they came through in this game and got it done.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got it done. I mean, if they'd have lost the game, then the talk would have been, well, you're already struggling. Then you can't beat the Aces without Asia. So, you know, it's glad to see they came out and played the way they did, man. But shout out to your girl Stewie. I know Stewie just won a player of the week here recently. She might need to get this one because she didn't had a heck of a week.
Yeah, she had 38 the other night.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. 30 or 36, one of the two against the Lynx.
Yeah.
But crazy work. And that was
hold on, Prime. Before you switch topics, well, this ain't even the same topic. It's just a random throw in. I just want to know how you feel about your girl, our girl, but your girl, Alicia Gray. She was a little upset. She was a little upset the other night. Got hit in the face, and she ain't like that.
Bruh, I was getting ready to say, you talking about yesterday? It's because he had a couple of but yesterday. I love it though. Shorty said the referees is trash. Did you hear that? Now I heard she got hit in the face. I saw she got hit in the face and she got like, oh, Lee's about to go in. I don't know if I've ever seen that look on her face. Right. I've seen her get upset, you know, and sometimes hard fouls are getting hit. Because one thing I always say, what I've said on this show a billion times, I can give you about 5 players, 2 of them in particular, that's always gonna stay on the floor.
Yeah.
Leash is my girl. And you notice, but Leash gonna be on the floor. So, but then when she got hit in the face the other day, the way she flew off the hand, like it was crazy. And Ryan being the homie, just being one of her best, and whoa, this one and pushed her. I was like, I didn't know where this was going. Like, looking like my girl was ready to get suspended for real. Like, just go ahead and risk it all on this one.
I wonder what she was going to do though.
Yeah. Like her face.
Like her face said, I'm going to punch her in the face right now. But I feel like I don't know, because she was not happy. She was. I remember seeing her like that one time. I can't remember when. I think it was last season though. I can't remember exactly what happened, but her getting up like quickly and going straight towards a person. Yeah. This might have been a little different though, because she had that look.
Yeah, she old country girl. Just like she had that look like her and the family went out fishing and out to cook, you know, for food they was gonna cook later. And when she got back, she caught all the fish, right? And come to find out she wanted the catfish, and somebody ate all the catfish. You know what I'm saying? That she caught. And she caught spots or something. That's what it looked like. And we know Elise loved the fish. You know, she's several videos of her talking about going fishing, her and her mom or whatever. But that's what it seemed like. Like she didn't get the catfish, dog. They let her up there with the spots and the croakers. That ain't what she wanted.
She was hot, boy.
She was upset, bro. But shout out to Ryan. What I also love too, and of course nobody's gonna give her credit. You see Angel, like hold on. Don't do that. Calm down. You know.
Oh, it's probably because she don't.
Yeah.
If Alicia Gray is responding like that, then she had enough. That's the thing. When you got somebody that's nice and seems so sweet and always laughing and joking, haha, and they get mad.
Man, Leash on one though. But how you get in the interview and you talking to the reporter and he said the refs is trash? Dog.
She's not necessarily.
Hey, her to say that. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like just to hear. I'm like, yeah, she didn't really have it. Like she's just over the day. She's over the game. She's over the day and everything. Shorty said the rest was trash. I saw people responding in some of the comments. Be careful because you know Sophie. This and the third. Look, we ain't talking about Sophie. We know what happened to Sophie. You know she's well aware that she probably gonna get fined. Okay?
Oh, she's getting fined.
At least getting money. All right, she getting money outside of the game. So, you know, it is what it is. But man, no, that was crazy. She said, that's just trash. I didn't replay that part of the video a million times. It's so funny to me.
Yeah, she probably frustrated as well because she is not shooting well at all.
Nah,
in the last week or so.
Oh,
so
not at all. That's been the problem with them. Period, though. Like if you look, I was watching Angel in the press conference, and I mean it was obvious. You were talking about them not playing well, but definitely at shooting free throws. Like they don't know what a 5-game losing streak right now. And I would dare tell you, at least 3 of those games, if you go back and look at them, forget what's being called. You're not getting it calls. Just missing at the line.
Right.
2 or 3 of those games are probably wins for them if they hit. They were horrible yesterday at the line.
Yeah, that was a good game too.
Yes, it was.
Man, anytime Golden State on, it's gonna be entertaining.
Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to Gabby hit a couple of joints last night. I was like, whoo, spoken of like
tough, man.
She's talking about. I don't think there's a player that I can think of that's benefited probably in the past few seasons of going to a particular team much as Gabby. And I remember I said before the season started with time, and I said I think it's going to benefit her. But man, like she's really been able. Not that she's not a scorer, but you don't always think about her as scoring. You know the big points. She's steady. They might come up on a certain night. You know she's gonna play D. She's gonna D you up. But the freedom and the way and the confidence that she's playing with, man, is crazy. And she's picked her spots so well, you know, this season, man. I'm loving this for her, man.
Yeah, remember she was doing that in Olympic joint too.
Yes, yeah. I think a lot of people were surprised. Like, I mean, I know Gabby can play, but I didn't know she had a bag like that. Yeah, you know, remember watching her this year, that's all I've been thinking about is the Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah,
man. I love her in Veronica together, man. I do. I love that pair. They own I'm watching. It's just what it is. Mentioned the Liberty earlier. We were talking about them. They came out with a 99-86 victory over the Lynx. And that was crazy because I talked about they started out pretty hot against the Aces. Shoot, against the Lynx, they hit their first 11 or 12 shots. Like they couldn't miss. You know, only for the Lynx to make a comeback, but just to have that type of fire was crazy. I think the thing I looked most forward to going into this game, forget all the guard play and stuff we talked about, I wanted to see Howard against John Quell.
Yeah.
And what I took from that is, now Howard, you know, played well, especially on the board, but John Quell and them took her out of her strength because we know that John Quell plays a lot. Some people don't like it. Some people do, you know, don't have a problem with it, but plays a lot away from that basket.
Right.
Has no problem, you know, getting it from the basket and trying to drive in. Sometimes she does a little bit too much, but then sometimes she's on point. But then she's out there. She will pull a 3 on you. We know that. You know, this is a former league MVP, and during that MVP season, we saw her go crazy.
Right.
But I think that the way that it was drawn up by New York and making Howard play away from the basket more than she's probably used to having, you know, used to playing in a lot of those games was key in that one, man. And ultimately, you know, it was one of the key reasons the Liberty got that win.
Indeed. Oh, something else I wanted to ask you about the other night. We had, I was about to say Kentucky. We had Dallas at Connecticut. During that game, well, Jess was terrible, first of all. And whether it was because of what was being done on the defensive end or just her not playing well.
Right.
What did you think about the elbow to the neck from Jess Shepard to Brittany Griner?
don't know. Like that was a tough one. That was a tough one, right, for me because I saw maybe a tad bit of frustration. I didn't pay enough attention to the two of them the entire game because I was doing something else. I don't know if there was any type of bit of or whatever. I think there might have been a tad bit of frustration, but I don't know. Like I don't know how I'm really taking that. I don't think she was trying to do anything, but I don't know. You
I looked at it. I don't know either because I wasn't watching the game at the beginning,
know.
so I don't know. BG be wilding, elbowing people, all that. She be wilding sometimes. Jess be wilding too. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't even personally. I don't even like as a player. I don't like Jess. I just don't like. I like the way she plays. Don't get me wrong. I like what she's doing in the starting role. I like how she's cleaning up the boards and she's unselfish with the ball and she's bringing the ball to the court sometimes. She's passing that joint. Like she's doing a lot of things. But I don't like her personality personally.
Right.
Like to me, the elbow had to be out of frustration, whether it was what was being done to her on the defensive end or her what was being done physically to her previously. But even on that play, like everybody's looking at it like she threw the elbow. She did throw the elbow. Did anybody notice that BG's elbow was in her face at the time?
I'm looking at it now. And
I was like, why is nobody saying that part? Like BG hit her first. Boom.
Ooh, yeah.
And then and BG wasn't wild with it, but still, I mean, the elbow in your face is the elbow in your face. So she swung that joint back. I mean,
you know where we are now, though. I mean, especially for one particular player. But anyway, we're in a society now is people are looking at the whole picture. Or people or what we're going off of steal shots or whatever. Now, I will admit, I didn't pay as close attention to until just now to what you just said about BG's elbow. Yeah, I'm watching it. And she definitely had a joint on her face. Yeah, so,
but literally nobody said that. I didn't hear one person mention that at all. I'm like, how everybody's watching the same joint, but nobody's mentioning BG's elbow. Oh, referring back to last week, I got to tell you as well, the Alyssa Thomas thing. Even I didn't see the whole thing the way I should have seen it, because I watched the whole play this week, and I was like, man, she was down to that for half a second. And I mean, everything she did was outside. I mean, moving her hand to the neck, like that was weird. So you can say that was like extra, but really everything else was just the play. It was just the play. She even got up and went. The step over is towards the rebound. Like,
did you watch? So the one thing is, I've tried my best not to click on a lot of these, but of course I click on a few.
I mean, you say WNBA, you're gonna click on it sometimes.
Yeah. And did you see there was a guy had a video on there on one of the joints, and I mean, it was good analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was talking about first he was on the side that he's not a big AT fan, never had been, blah blah blah, on this whole thing until he says, but watching it again, and he got another angle, and he was watching it. And he said he changed his opinion a little bit. And he admitted, he said, yeah, it definitely should be a flagrant. I mean, just the way you call it. He says, but if you watch this, he said what he never realized from his video, and he was showing AT how she had already made the semi-fist or whatever, and her hand slid down. Like you showed it, like it was already made, it was on the shoulder, then it slid down versus just pressing down on the, initially with the fist. He said he kind of changed how he thought about it. He said, I still don't like her. He said, but I he said, I'm a man, that principles and more. He said, I ain't gonna let it go out like that, know. And it is what it is. What I don't like, but not surprised, some of these WNBA groups, if you read through the comments, of course, there's the dumb A's that talking stuff about when AT, and of course from Stephanie White's comments recently, is coming out, talking about nobody should be, you know, subjected to hate and all this. People are putting stuff in the comments, hate, huh? Things that didn't happen for 500 and all this stuff, like, you know. And I'm like, you can look right here in these comments with some of the stuff these people are saying. What makes you think it wasn't said on the internet, dog? We got 200 some comments right here already.
Right.
What makes you think none of that happened? When you can still same comments, or some of those same comments are right here in this post, right? And so I saw that. In addition to that, dog, the Stephanie White piece, what I saw a lot of heavy. Of course, people upset because Stephanie White came out with her second comments, right? You know, sticking up for the players and stuff. All they can say is, you need to fire her. Protect your player. Protect your player. Protect your player. And they mad with Stephanie White for speaking out too on the hate side. But protect your player. And I'm just like, bro, y'all just, you know, it's just wild, man. It's just wild.
How about protect the league?
Yeah. Mad at her for stepping up. Now, what I haven't heard yet, and I don't really care to go looking, but I'm sure I will. Did you see the comments that Caitlin Clark made? Here,
I did not watch them. I purposely didn't watch them. I'm curious to hear about them, but I didn't watch them. I was like, I don't.
I just caught one yesterday where she made the comments when she was explaining a few things about her actions and where she admit that sometimes that she, I don't know how she worded it, but certain things get to her, some things don't. But there's a piece in there too when she's talking about, you know, no one should be subjected to the hate, and y'all spend more time, you know, fans spending more time worried about her and certain things. It's kind of like a discredit to other players. You know, she says some things. Now, through the little bit that I did read, I didn't see much there, right?
Right.
Now, I'm sure that was yesterday, and those comments were fresh. So I'm pretty sure we're going and find some stuff with some people saying, well, the league made her say that. She may do this, that, and the third, you know. But she did come out with some comments here recently about the hate side of it. You know, players being treated fairly and unfairly. She didn't go in as deep as Stephanie White did, but she did.
I saw one verified WNBA person saying how she did such a great job. And they were glad she said something. I saw somebody saying, y'all acting like she gave the I Have a Dream speech. And then there's some people saying, you know, she didn't do enough. She didn't say enough. I don't even have to watch it. I know she didn't say enough because it hasn't come across my timeline that people that follow her are mad. So until the people that follow her are mad, I know she didn't say enough.
I'll say this. It was pretty long. It was longer than I thought. It wasn't just a clip of watching it. I will say to Stephanie White's on her joint that she went a lot deeper than I thought. Like she really was trying to address the issue. Now the Caitlin side, Caitlin could have definitely gone deeper into it. But I will say Caitlin did speak out, and it wasn't like something quick for like 5 seconds. She spoke a little bit. So I listened to most of it and then just didn't dip down. And I went through about 10 comments. Hadn't seen anything crazy yet, but I'm pretty sure by now it's definitely something crazy in there.
Right.
You know,
but I'm going to have to watch it. I'm going to have to watch the whole interview, press conference. Yeah. But Stephanie White's going to say something. One, she was in the league. Mm-hmm. Two, she's older. So she's a coach. So she's older. Three, she's married to a black woman. So she... Lisa Salters, you better say something.
Yeah, you better say something. Is a Raven caller a baddie?
Raven crazy. Raven. Also, have you seen the comments on Raven, the recent stuff?
I haven't seen anything recently outside of folks being mad that she's not getting more PT than she's getting, but I haven't seen anything else.
I just saw something in passing, like people mad about her calling Caitlin her sister and her whatever, like something like that. It was I didn't read too much into it. I just saw it, at a glance. I was like, don't y'all start hating on Raven, because she's trying to make the best out of a situation that she in. Like
Exactly.
I don't know what you want her to do.
Exactly.
I don't know what you want her particularly to do as a rookie coming in to this league on this particular team with all the situations that go around it.
And what's that joint? What's that joint Michael Jackson sung in the Wiz? You can't win.
You can't win. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
win.
that's what it is.
Yeah. Now, if you want to say Aaliyah Boston, that's different. But Raven, nah, y'all get off Raven.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop that. They hustle over in Atlanta though. We were just talking about Atlanta struggling through the 5 games in a row, but they coming all out the woodworks. I never liked Nas Hillman. Hillman got to go. Man, I didn't see the Nas Hillman got to go. I saw the package up. I seen the what is Angel doing? Cotton need to be starting.
Yeah, now they just doing whatever.
Yeah, bro, they was going off. Yesterday was crazy.
They just people. Okay, so you and I talked about it before. Fans of the WNBA are not necessarily sports fans to a higher degree of like specificity. Like they're not sports fans that get into the details.
Right.
It's part sports fans, part fans of women being at the forefront and it being a sport and becoming popular. Part it's, queer women a lot of times.
Right.
So you have all these things playing in together. So it's an emotional state of fandom. It is an emotional state of fandom, which is why people go crazy after every single game. You would think that the Aces were the Aces from the beginning of last year.
Right.
They played terrible. How could they? Dog, they got the best record. And what are you talking about? Okay, they lost a couple games. Everybody's lost a couple games. What, you want them to play perfect every game? You want them to play like Atlanta? Yeah, I get that because Ryan and Leash can be inconsistent when it comes to scoring.
For sure.
And we've seen that all season. Shooting, scoring, whatever the case may be. And they are a frustrating team. I can see that. Even if they are 12-8, they're like 12-8, something like that. But when people go crazy about the Liberty over the top, the Aces, and this has been going on since week 1 of the season. People have been like wilding since week 1 as if it's playoff time. I'm like, but y'all just gotta calm, like let the season play out. But I have to remember, and I've taken the stance of not saying anything. I know we discussed that before, but I look at posts and I start typing and I stop. I'm like, bro, ain't no need. There's no need. There's no need.
Yeah, it's not. And you're at a point now, bro. You're not gonna change anybody's mind. It's just like the presidency. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You like Trump, no matter what he does, what he said, people gonna stick to that. It's the same way with sports now, especially in the WNBA, and even worse with the newbies. The casual fan. It's even worse with them. You're not going to change their mind. The only reason somebody is better than somebody is because they score more points, and that's that's the only reason. Yeah. Look at the stats. How is this person better than this person, and she's averaging 3 more points a game? How is this These are the only things that matter. Turnovers don't matter. Like, this is the stuff that you see on the internet, and people stand by it, bro. Like, hard.
Yeah. The tough part is when people end up with a following and don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
I took a whole, I talk about the WNBA a little bit here and there, but it's so many people. It's so many. Where did these people, where did they come from? I'm trying to figure out, again, we appreciate the fandom. We appreciate the fandom going up. People paying attention, people talking about it, all that good stuff. But why has everybody got to be an expert on the thing when you just got to the thing? You just started paying attention to the thing. Now you're an expert. I'm like, bro, y'all got to calm down. Y'all got to calm down.
Man, these folks. What else I saw? I was trying to find it right here while we were speaking, but they want to package up. Jordan Canada. And need
Oh,
somebody. They need somebody to distribute the rock more, and they wilding.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I saw them going off on Jordan Canada. I don't understand why Pow doesn't play anymore. Like I don't know what happened.
Man,
And that's been the last couple of weeks. I'm like, why is Pow like never on the court?
the only two things I've been watching for the past few weeks. That was number two. Number one, of course, is whatever's going on with Laney Hamilton in New York. That's a story. And I think it's probably more to it than what we know. Kind of, especially listening to Johannes' comments the other day when they asked about her, and they were just like, her and John Quell are really close. But Johannes kind of, I don't know, where she was speaking makes you think that it could be something going on personally. I don't know. But
I mean, she's been hurt, so
yeah. And also means too, there's something to watch too. Does she finish the season in New York? But that's something else. But yeah, other than that, the Pow situation, because you'll turn on the TV, Pow, it'd be a Saturday game or something. She comes out there, come out there and drop 12, 14 in the game, shooting really good, hit a couple of key shots. Then 2 games later, she hardly getting on the court. Like, so it's a funny thing.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing. But ATL, it's gonna be okay. Y'all gonna be okay. Y'all are gonna definitely be okay. The one thing I know they heard them. Did you see the game this week when they played the Mystics? Did you see that? They played the Mystics earlier, and so the Commissioner Cup was too. So maybe it was like Thursday, maybe Thursday. Anyway, the Dream, because they lost to the Mystics 81-76, and the Dream had the lead the majority of the game. Mystics came back and won it. A heck of an effort. Kiki was snagging everything. No Sonia Citron in that game.
Okay, yeah, no Citron game. Yeah.
But this star, again, as I said at the beginning of the year, Shakira Austin, man. Shakira Austin out there looking like money. She was 21-9. And I talked about the efficiency earlier that Stewie had in that game. Shoot, Austin was 9 of 14. Yeah, so she got busy. She got busy against the the Dream. Angel held her own. When Angel was on her, they caused a cut and them having taken her too. But but Shakira Austin was looking like she was outstanding in that basketball game. So big win for the Mystics in that, especially the way it was one of those games looked like they were about to get blown out a couple of times. Mystics kept chipping back, and then they were really good in the final like 4 or 5 minutes of that basketball game. So that was dope. And other than that, man, I will give a shout out. We briefly mentioned the Liberty and Lynx a little while ago, and that was a big 36-point game, whatever, for Stewie. I talked about watching the matchup between John Quell and Natasha Howard. But the Lynx in that game, McBride, late in that game, had it looking like they were about to make a serious comeback. Courtney played well in that. But I think the key in that game, too, especially down the stretch, was Olivia Miles didn't shoot well in that game. She had a couple of nice scoops to the basket. She does her thing. She one of the best, that patented layup going to the basket in traffic. But she was 5 of 16, 0 for 4 from 3. And ultimately was the deciding factor, I believe, in why the Liberty, one of the reasons the Liberty was able to pull that out over the Lynx.
Well, we know what's on tap, what's on deck, what's around the corner is the return of the gangster.
Fee.
Man, listen. Somebody asked the other day, man, it won't be all right. You saw it. It was in the group.
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah. They gonna, like what's gonna happen basically when Fee come back. More of the same is what's gonna happen when Fee come back. Fee ain't gonna be a disruption. She's not gonna be a disruption. Matter of fact, the defense is going up when Fee come back. The defense is going up because they ain't gonna have no choice but to play defense. When your best player, yes, for those who think Olivia Miles is the best player on the team, she is not. She is right now, but she's not because Fee still exists. When she returns,
yeah, Corey was asking that question, and he's gonna pay attention because he's I don't know how long Corey's been watching the WNBA. I know he's a basketball fan, but one thing about him, if it's a prominent UConn player on that squad, he gonna pay attention to it.
oh word, okay,
Yeah, so Fee coming back, and so he's been interested in that, while respecting the fact that Olivia Miles is that girl, and then of course you'll see him post a lot too when things dealing with Paige.
right.
I don't know if he actually has a squad or not in the WNBA, but if it's a prominent UConn player on that squad, then Corey gonna pay attention. So, yeah. So, I liked your response on that, bad boy.
When Fee come back, it's going down. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's going down. And whether it's game 1, 2, 3, or they have to get used to it real quick, by the time they get to 7, 8, it's gonna be a problem.
Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is. What we got here? All right, next up, let's talk. We staying in the WNBA, man. Let's talk about All-Star. Gotta talk All-Star. That has been the talk, of course, around the WNBA for a lot of reasons. First of all, we do have the All-Star starters there, so a lot of talk about the starters list. As you can see, mixed into the starters list, there's it's noted that there are 3 Indiana Fever players on this here list. So that's the real talk as far as the starters are concerned. There's some other talk that we're gonna talk about in a minute, but what you think about the starters list when you saw this?
Generally, it's cool. 3 Indiana players is silly though, but it's heavily fan related though, right?
50% of the vote.
So you already know what it is. Now, somebody, if they wanted to, they could argue for each of the players from Indiana being in the conversation. But the fact that it's 3 Indiana players and 0 Atlanta players is wild. It's wild. But again, it is. I did see it. I did see a fan. I think somebody in some comments somewhere said that maybe the WNBA fandom is not mature enough at this point to have this type of control, to have the control of all-star starters. Personally, I'm like, man, forget this. This don't even matter for real. Like, it is what it is. We already know what it is. It's the Caitlin Clark effect on the whole team. Didn't Sophie and Maisha get votes? I'm like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? We're just doing anything at this point. So, but generally speaking, it's not bad. It's not bad. I can't knock any of them. Hold on, who is? Oh, Gabby. Okay, yeah. Generally speaking, I ain't mad at it.
Now, did you see the some of the starters saying they didn't get their vote?
I saw some, like, it was
I saw LA.
LA. That's what it was.
There were some players saying that they didn't get their votes. Matter of fact, they said of the 180 players, I believe it was 85. Only 85 of them submitted starter ballots. So they got a crazy glitch somewhere.
Yeah. For the purpose. I mean, I would hope it would not be on purpose. I don't know why it would be on purpose, but just efficiency, handling that. But yeah, that's kind of whack.
Yeah. And speaking of Atlanta, there's no Dream in the starting lineup voted as starters in this. So Angel made some comments about this, said she was a little disappointed. And that happened. And we're talking about, a team that, and again, it's the fans. Okay, so it's the fans. So we know who got the votes, who came out and voted, whatever. But a team like the Fever with that many people, the starters, and not one ATL starter anywhere in there. So
Indiana got like the 6th best record in the league.
Indiana like what 6 or 7, something like that.
6, 7, somewhere in there. With 3 starters, come on, bro. Like, relax.
Crazy work. It's crazy work.
I mean, if you want to do double fan vote and all that on different days, and you can vote as many times as you want, then that's what you're gonna get. We have the same discussions about NBA, but there's no franchise that really acts like this in the NBA.
True.
Because it's not about basketball, but I ain't trying to be having that conversation again today. So
yeah, let's take a look now. So far, let me put this up here. So we're getting to the voting here, and we get to see how this thing panned out a little bit in some of the votes. So if we look at the guards, that's really what I pay attention to mostly is the guards, right? And it shows you their rank, right? Paige Becker's got more votes, period, than everybody. Of course, she is the number one guard. And you can see how she started up throughout the league. So a lot of Caitlin Clark fans, a lot of them were really upset about this, but you can't just put it on the fans, though. She is number one with the fans. Paige Beckers is number one with the fans. But the media thinks really highly of Paige Beckers too. She's number 2 against the media. And amongst the players voted her number 1. All right, so I think that's dope. You look at, as far as the guards, I think Caitlin is number 3. And this is where it gets funny, right? And people were talking about Kyle Hurd and other people talking about how much they dislike Caitlin, right? We jump down to number 3, Caitlin. Number 2 amongst the fans. Number 3 against the media, which I think is interesting. Number 3 amongst the media. Much as we criticize the media, and sometimes rightfully so. Sometimes we on point, but number 3, not number 1. She's number 3 amongst the media. And then, of course, the people that actually play the game rank her at number 11. Voted her number 11. That's wild. But I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, these are people that actually play the game, dog. Now, whether you think it's because some of it's rooted in hatred or jealousy, it's whatever it is, right? Some of these people are legit, and they actually know the game and they play basketball against it, and they happen to think that there's other players that's better. So, at the guard position,
I think 3 is high. I think 11 is low. But I can get to 11. I did it like when I first saw this. I was like, okay, if you wanted to count this person, that person, yeah, you can put her at 11. Also, not everybody is considering, just in general, not everybody's considering a person's whole game. People just look at what they know to follow. They see points. Cool. They see exciting 3-pointers from deep. They're like, oh, it must be the greatest because they shoot from way out there. But those same people are not considering defense. So, and the WNBA, which is the best part of the WNBA, is that it's still at a point where both sides of the ball matter for almost everybody. Almost everybody in the league, like most of the good players, play offense and defense. That is crucial. Because you're not going to get very far. You're not going to get very far outside of the one where you're going to have somebody that's blatantly a bad defender, like a bad defender, not even like a bad defender. Like there's not that many that are clearly bad at defense in the WNBA, but considered a good to great player.
Indeed. So, yeah, that's been the talk across the media there. Saw some people were upset about Kelsey Plum, and I get it, but Kelsey's only played about 12 games this year. So you're talking about putting her in as a starter. Shoot, even if the fan ranked her 6th. But I saw some people talking about this. Come on, it's Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum, she got to be higher. But it's a lot of things you got to take into consideration. And number one is she's only played, with 12 games, I think, this season. So, not saying that she won't make the team. We still got some people to pick. But
she in there.
Yeah, but there's something to look at. And then you jump down to the front court, of course, no surprise. A'ja Wilson, number 1 from the players, number 2 by the fans and the media. The media gave your girl Stewie number 1. They ranked Stewie number 1 and then number 2 right behind amongst the players. So number 3.
It's kind of wild, even for Stewie can be number 1. Like, that's not a problem. But ranking her number 1 over A'ja in the last anything related to the last couple seasons, that's tough.
That's wild. Then we were just talking about Jess Shepard, number 3 in the front court.
Yeah.
As far as the weighted score,
she kind of slid into the AT spot with the triple doubles, and covering all the bases, doing everything on the court.
Indeed. Let me go further down the list there. See Angel sitting at 7 right now. See 6 is all the way across. Nneka, Kiki. We expect to see most of those girls in there. It's going to be interesting to see. I think it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday when they going to select the rest of the play. I know that the GMs, of course, we got Spoon and Coop.
Yeah.
Spoon and Coop. So I think, let me see if I can find it. I believe I saw it's going to be Tuesday. Let me see here.
How many tears will be shed when Caitlin Clark is not the first pick or the second pick? Don't let her fall to like 5. If she falls to 5, they're gonna say racism. Prejudice. They hate her. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys.
Oh my goodness. They'll really, really hammer Coop too.
Oh yeah.
Because most of Coop's videos I've seen recently, the benefit about black players, more recently, she's been showing crazy love to Angel Reese. She has a couple of strong videos out there on a couple of one-on-one podcasts when she's just giving love to Angel Reese growth. And she's just, she's going on and on and on. Let's see here. Says here, yes, it's Tuesday. 12 reserves who are chosen by the league's head coaches will be officially announced on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going down.
Get the picking.
Yeah, so just thought that was interesting, of course. And then, let me see, one last thing here. I think we just talked about all of this, and it's really just another picture. Honestly. Yeah, just showing the guards. It's just the guards there, so. Same numbers that were on the other one. So I can't wait to see how this thing shakes out. Sure. And that's all I got, WNBA. You got anything else?
Nope. That's it.
One quick thing I wanted to ask you, and I'm going out of turn because I meant to do this before we got off the NBA, but I had to ask you about this. I had to ask you about this. What is going on here? Like, what is going on here? I was like, I ain't even fall into all the crazies people was talking, but the internet is hilarious. And after, of course, Stephen A. got grilled for making some crazy comments. But this looks a whole lot different from what we are used to seeing with the Lakers, man. And whether you agree with Stephen A. or not, I don't even listen to Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. He's a clown. But he has some pretty strong comments, but a lot of people been having fun with this, and I'm talking like black fans and white fans. I've seen some white fans have, but I'm sitting there tripping because I'm like, this is crazy, and I'm like, so I ain't trying to be funny, man, but y'all went from back in the day we had Showtime, and now the Lakers looking like Snow Time, dog. Like this is crazy.
Yo, not snow time.
It's Snow Time. This is crazy, man. What did you think when you first saw this go down?
I haven't thought anything about it. Just look, it does look like the Los Angeles Celtics, though.
Not the Los Angeles Celtics.
I can see that.
I did think about McHale and them for a minute. I said, well, at least they had Dennis Johnson, like
Right.
cornbread.
Cornbread Maxwell.
You might can make up a lineup of non-blacks with the Celtics when you take off some of them quality bench players they had over there run. You bring in you got with him and with Danny Ainge, McHale, Bird,
Robert Perry.
Who they have? They can't come off the bench. For a couple of years they had Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
And what's the little guard? Jerry Seasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seasting.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's just wild. I said, man, when I saw folks having fun with it, especially white NBA fans was having fun with this, man, I was tripping.
Yeah, that's a wild lineup, bro. That's a wild looking lineup. I don't expect to ever see that lineup on the court. Like, right. Well, not never, but not starting five. But it just right now, yeah, that's a
crazy work. We'll see how this whole thing pans out. That's all I got for sports, dog. Unless you got something else, we talk some music.
Nah, I'm good.
Appreciate all you sports fans rocking with us. Hopefully you're hip-hop fans too, because we always talk hip-hop on most shows we do. We got a couple of things we're going to hit here and on this here show before we roll out. First up, let's talk about we started runs last show.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked a 4-album run on our last show, and we talked about EPMD. Shared our thoughts on their 4 best albums, which of course were their first 4. This week, we're actually going to talk about Gang Starr. We're going to talk Gang Starr on this one, dog. And I really was going to do them first, but then EPMD had just been so heavy on my mind, and I had been playing some of the, a lot of that stuff. Like so I was like, nah, I'm going to get into them. But we're going to talk Gang Starr in this one. And Gang Starr, you love him. I love him. Rest in peace. Guru, of course. Premier still out here, doing his thing.
Mm-hmm. He's actually rocking live today on Joe Budden's
is he?
network, I guess. Joe Budden,
okay.
Yeah, I think he's got a 2-hour set over there.
Dope. That's dope. Shout out to all the DJs still out here doing their thing on these lives, man. Especially Jazzy, and of course he has Maceo on his joint a lot. It's something special to be out here rocking. Shout out to all these folks, Evil D, everybody still getting it in. Red Alert. But yeah, we're gonna rock with Gang Starr, and I guess we would probably agree, or most will agree, this would be the 4 to run with.
Absolutely.
These would be the 4 to run with. And to me, if we're talking 4 album runs, no matter where you put it, if you want to break it down to 3, it would, it'd still be strong here. But to me, this is one of the most impressive things I've seen in hip-hop music when it comes to dropping. Because to me, they just could not miss, in my opinion. Now, I know, what was the first album? No More Mr. Nice Guy?
Right.
Shout out to my man, my college buddy, J to the A. That's how I met him on, he was rocking a Gang Starr track. And that Gang Starr Guru was his guy back when we first started out at VCU, and that was the only album they had too at the time. So, but shout out to my guy Jay to the A. But this is the strongest run right here. Can you think of the last time you might have listened to one of these albums?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Listen to Moment of Truth.
Word up.
Daily Operation is actually my favorite Gang Starr album.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's crazy because 1 minute I'll tell you is Daily Operation. and then the next minute, I might jump and tell you that it's the Hard to Earn album. It's hard, man. It's hard. It just depends on what day it is. But to me, you can make a four album. Again, which I have. I got a Gang Starr playlist, period, right? But this joint right here would be crazy if you just pulling off all the bangers on this, because just about everything on these albums bang. And what I loved about this run is they were so consistent. This was back in the time when people, at least for three of them anyway, we were used to seeing people drop albums consistent. You know what I'm saying? Because after No More Mr. Nice Guy, you jump in. So we go to 91. He had Step in the Arena. Came right back the next year with Daily Operation, right? And then you had to wait a year. You had to wait and jump to 94 to Hard to Earn. So there was not a big space in between records, right? You had to wait till you got to a Moment of Truth where there was actually it was like 4 years between those albums.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is fire. This is fire. What were some of your favorite songs on these runs, man?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Pick a couple.
Code of the Streets.
Yes, sir.
Well, my joint is 92 Interlude. It's just Interlude, but that's my joint. I actually made a song off of that. Me and my man, Chris the Antagonist. Did a song back in the day from that joint. Take Two with Pass. The Militia.
Yes, sir. That's my joint.
Shoot. A Long Way to Go. Drake, of course.
Sir.
I can just say and name songs. Take it personal. Like endless heat. Love sick. Endless heat, bro. Endless heat.
Endless heat, man. I added that. My Steez.
My Steez.
Yeah, I gotta add that. You named just about all of mine plus more. I even still have a soft spot on that Daily Operation joint, even though it's a change in tempo. But Ex Girl to the Next Girl is my joint.
Girl looks so good.
That is my joint, man. You mentioned the Militia. Who's Gonna Take the Weight? I was raised like praying to that joint is just absolutely crazy, man. But this run right here, like I say, for me, stacks up with any 4-album run. I can go even 3-album run. Throughout hip hop, I'll put it up there, and amongst the best in my personal opinion, because it's just always something dropping. And you got to see so much of Premier's creativity in the music, because most of the albums, if you listen, there's always 2 to 3 songs that sound totally different, for me anyway, in my opinion, than the actual vibe of the album, but it still works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So these dudes are dope, man. These dudes are dope. Trying to anything else.
I'm the Man. Can't forget I'm the Man.
Yep.
Lil Tab and J. Brew. Stay tuned. Get with this.
You said Soliloquy of Chaos, right?
Choice. Soliloquy. I didn't say Soliloquy of Chaos, but
yes.
Chaos. Endless, man. Endless.
That what's crazy is that music that I don't know, haven't peeped there to see with the samples he used on Soliloquy of Chaos. But if you go back, and I'm the old superhero cartoon head, but that sound was really prominent in some of the old superhero cartoons back in the day.
I hear you. I hear it. I hear it now that you're saying it. I've never thought about it though. Yeah. But I hear it since you said it, yeah.
If you go back to like the old 70s, 80s cartoons, there are certain sounds of music or things they would use consistently. You might see it on more than one cartoon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the background, But I remember that being on a couple of joints. I think it was Super Stretching Micro Woman is in the back, and they be some in peril and something's going on and whatever, and it's a tight situation, and that music from the background, Soliloquy with Chaos would play. There's a couple of other joints. There's one joint I can't think of the name of it, but I had Hercules, and it had this girl that turned into an animal. Anyway, but yeah, wherever he got that from or where it originally came from, he dug in the crates for that one for sure.
You talking about Super Friends?
No, it's not the Super Friends. What is the name of it? It's not the Champions, because when we get off this show, I've been thought about it. But it was a cartoon that started out, had Hercules, Mercury, and it was a girl. I think her name was Astria or something. Anyway, basically play the music in the background sometimes. I don't remember the girl Astria, what I used to turn into. She could turn into animals. Like Puma. No, yeah, it was crazy. But he definitely dug in the crates for that joint right there.
Yeah. Endless joints, though. I mean, talk about Gang Starr. We could talk about Gang Starr all day, for real.
With the mass appeal.
I haven't even looked at Hard to Earn. Well, Brooklyn, the place that we dwell.
Oh, bruh.
I haven't even looked at
Tons of guns. I love Tons of Guns.
Tons of Guns. Yeah. Yeah. Now you're mine.
You got, we got, they got. Oh yeah, that joint is hot, bro.
Guns. Man. I am not the biggest Mass Appeal fan, but I know that everybody else thinks it's the greatest beat and thinks it's one of them joints.
I like it.
It's not up there
for me. I like it.
Yeah, it's not up there for me either, because there's so many other joints that are fake MC. They always act hard, but won't walk the streets without their bodyguard.
That joint still bang.
Man, I'm about to listen to this joint on the way to pick up.
I did catch myself one day. I was like, "Damn, am I mad about something? Am I ready to fight?" Because I was, and it was none of my doing. I just had a playlist bumping, and I had it in random. That joint came on, and then right after that, the brand Nubian Punk's Jump Up came on. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what's? Am I on that type of energy today? Is it feeling me? Like, what's going on?
I'm surprised you ain't say Betrayal Prime with Scarface.
Oh, definitely love that joint.
Make them pay with Crumb Snatcher. Moment of Truth is my joint. I don't know how I ain't say that. Moment of Truth. That's the song. Moment of Truth.
Moment of Truth.
And Above the Clouds with Inspector Deck.
That same joint Militia on that album. We talked about that. Man.
Craziness.
Man. Nothing but greatness for Gang Starr. Got to show them the proper love on that joint. Shoot, I'm not gonna say it's in my top 10 Gang Starr song, but I kind of like the Robin Hood Theory joint.
Oh yeah, Robin Hood Theory.
Yeah, for sure.
I like JFK to LAX.
Whew.
I mean, go shopping.
Yes, sir.
B.I. versus Friendship.
Woo.
Come on, man.
What a career, man. What a career for Gang Starr. And then this run is unbelievable, man. Matter of fact, you had me bumped. You talking about you want to go play some joints. I'm ready to go play some joints. Hit that shuffle button, just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that joint is crazy. Shout out to Gang Starr, man.
Always.
Show them they proper due. For sure. Only other thing I got, brother, is do you get a chance to listen to T.I.'s album?
Yeah, I listened to it. I listened to it. I enjoyed it. I mean, honestly, I'm never going to listen to it again. But not because of the album, just because I don't really listen to T.I. crazy. But he got mad projects that are dope.
Ooh.
And I thought this was a good ending. If this is really the end, I thought this was a quality body of work. It's got singles on that joint. He be busting on that joint. Like, I really like Pistol on the Dance Floor with the Keith Sweat joint.
Man, that joint, he got the Don't Stop Your Love joint there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the album is solid, man. Let me be honest with you. First of all, let me give props to T.I. for his evolution, like over the years, because T.I. has managed to not only change, he's one of the few artists that have been able to change, but not totally change. You know what I'm saying? And continue to rise. Like T.I., if you look at T.I.'s history, this is his 12th album, 12th studio album. And of course, he's got albums like everybody else that you might like more than other albums. And there might be an album or two be like, eh. But for the most part, he has been solid his whole career. So to put out 12 records and to end off to what we believe could be his last studio. I mean, it might not be if you kind of play into what this title is saying, Long Live the King, because Long Live the King is kind of like putting away a persona of, being like they were saying, like him being the king or the king of the South or certain things. I don't know if this is really it for T.I., or maybe we see something down the road. But one thing about this joint, though, Source, I will say is, to me, it's a mixture of all of his records, is the way I feel about it. I feel like it's a mixture of all of his records at some point. And I like the way it starts off, with his daughter, with Eris. I think the intro is pretty dope with her on it, giving her a small clip. And then the fact that, he didn't feel the need to stuff everybody into it, but it's, with King, I don't think King is on this album, but he got his son, Buddy Red is on it. He's got a joint. He included the OMG girls on the joint, and that joint is fire. But overall, I think this is definitely a solid project for T.I., especially if this is his last album, man. He went deep into this joint, I think, with 18 tracks. It's got something for everybody. He's got some street in there. If you're still looking for some street T.I., there's street T.I. If you're looking for something a little more melodic, with some guest appearances, you're going to get that right there, too. If you were looking for, some artists that you hadn't heard in a while, or producers that you hadn't heard from for a while, you got that too. So I think this is a very, very good project, or interesting project. Yeah, think about, we haven't heard from T.I. since 2020, with that Libra record. So and he was taking it easy doing this thing. We know T.I.'s out here making money. It's like Source said, he'll be back in a minute, y'all. I think he's switching up. But yeah, if you haven't heard this album and you're a T.I. fan, I encourage you to go out there and listen to it. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be the album of the year, the album of the summer, but it's just so much. It's a lot of heat on here. Remember, he started the summer, before the summer, Let Him Know was fire. What's the joint he got now? Mr. Him is out here banging. It's got a couple of other joints I could see them actually putting on the radio. And maybe more than that. Some of it they may have to clean up a little bit, but they definitely have to clean up a little bit for it to get on the radio. But he's got some records on here that could definitely be up next. He's got one joint in particular with Summer Walker. It's called And It Won't. And they would have to clean it up for the radio a little bit, but Summer Walker fits in nicely on this record, and exactly what the subject matter is of the record as well. That definitely comes off strong. I can see that end up coming out being a hit. There's another one. How It Went. How It Went. We talked about people stepping up and coming back that we hadn't heard from in a while. They remember the Dream. Dream been out here producing. Well, the Dream is on this record on How It Went. So T.I. enlisted a ton of help on this joint. A ton of guest stars. He enlisted a ton of producers on this joint. I really, really like it. I love how him and Young Dro are still at it. That seems to be his man's, like, for life, it seems like, And Dro is on 2 songs. Matter of fact, they come out swinging on the album on the second song, See What I'm Saying, with Young Dro. That might be my best, my favorite song on the album, right? Is that joint. Where I'm From with Dr. Dre. We mentioned that. Uh, he mentioned Pistol on the Floor. Uh, Probably my least favorite track, believe it or not, is probably Gorgeous. And that's the joint with Usher, right? That's the joint with Usher. And not that I'm not an Usher fan, Usher is phenomenal, one of the greatest entertainers that we've ever seen. But I ain't really feeling that song as much as I'm feeling everything else on this bad boy. Um, Continental, love the way that ends off the record. Just overall, for me, it's just a strong effort. So on this show, we usually rank albums. We give them a rating, a beer rating, one being the lowest, five being the highest. And if you want to put a half in there, you can include a shot. I think it's a strong effort by T.I. I'm going to give it 4 solid beers on this one out of 5. And Source said he may have never listened to it again, even though he did like the album. I'll probably spin it, or at least spin a few of the tracks and put them in a on a playlist, but a solid effort there. But that's it. Source is not making it back. He had something happen with his computer. But anyway, we got through the show. We appreciate you rocking with us. We may or may not be on next week. I know Source is going to be out of town. Me, I may be around. This depends on how I'm feeling. I may be on solo, may be on with the guests, but we appreciate y'all rocking with us nonetheless. Everybody who came over to YouTube from Facebook, we know Facebook was having some issues. I do, and we do appreciate that. So we'll see if we get the Facebook issues ironed out. But yeah, you found us over on YouTube, the SBP TV. Well, other than that, hope you enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. And we'll catch you the next time that we're up. Until then, enjoy sports, enjoy good music, especially if it's hip hop. We out.